everyone, I'm Paul the Nitro Skyrus, and welcome to this edition of the Nitro Corner. Today it is Saturday, and today is part 1 of our weekend report, the Smackdown report. Coming up in just a little bit is part 2 of our weekend report, the Nitro Top 10. So let's get started with part 1. Smackdown from last night opened up with Christian scoring a victory over Sheamus it was a great matchup. Christian scores the win with a small package. Mark Henry, though, comes out after the match and attacks Christian, but Randy Orton, taking his sweet time, made the save for Christian last night. And then they reviewed the Cena-Miz I Quit match that will be this Sunday at Over the Limit. And then Divas champion Brie Bella was up next. She scored a victory over Natalya in a pretty okay match. Of course, Brie now will face Kelly for the Divas Championship at Over the Limit. That should be an interesting bout. And then Ezekiel Jackson delivers a promo. That's a first for me. He kind of did okay. The Book of Ezekiel is a pretty good idea for his promos. Wade Barrett comes out there along with the core. Got ready to give her another 3-on-1 beating when Theodore Long steps in and says, not today. It will now be a 6-man tag team matchup. And in that 6-man tag team matchup, Ezekiel Jackson teamed up with Kane and the Big Show to score a victory over the core in a 6-man tag team matchup. Ezekiel got the win, by the way, for his team when he forced Justin Gabriel to submit to the torture rack. Then it was a 5-minute challenge. Chavo Guerrero claimed he would beat Daniel Bryan within the 5-minute period. Well, he didn't do it. It ended up being a 5-minute draw. Sin Cara comes out there after Daniel Bryan gets posted and took care of Chavo Guerrero. They'll meet, of course, at Over the Limit this Sunday. Next up, Ted DiBiase scores a win over Trent Beretta, but before the match starts, Cody Rhodes comes out there and now puts a paper bag over Ted DiBiase's head and called it Corpus Christi. Get it? Corpus Christi? Who knows what that would entail, but I guess Ted DiBiase's now with Cody Rhodes. Next up, the Great Khali in a squash match beating Jey Uso. The mystery man that's been coming out there in the last few weeks came out the ringside, said something in Indian, and then proceeded to slap the Great Khali in his face. Unfortunately, the other Uso brother also got the chop after the match was over. I guess a new attitude for the Great Khali. And then in the main event, Randy Orton scores a victory over Mark Henry by disqualification because of Sheamus's interference. And then Christian also took his sweet time coming out there to save Randy Orton, but he did in the end. And that is basically what happened last night on SmackDown. SmackDown was was an okay show as far as I'm concerned. Not much really happened as they're setting themselves up for Over the Limit this Sunday on pay-per-view. And that is part 1 of our weekend report, the SmackDown report. Coming up next, part 2 of our weekend report, the Nitro Top 10. Until then, I'm Paul the Nitro Skyrus saying we'll see you next time. So long, everybody.